Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you may be viewing us from. We just want to greet you and just say thank you so much for joining us on Conversations for the Soul, one good sip at a time, with Dr. Angie and Yashica B, the Eclectic Mindset Motivator. Thank you so much for being here with us. I'm going to go ahead and bring Yashica on, but before I do that, let me just ask you one big favor. Please like and share, and then I give you a quick little description of who we are and what we do. So today we are very, very blessed to have a special guest on, and her name is Dalia Gonzalez. So we're looking forward to her. But let us just take this moment out to talk about the show. The show is the show where we conversate about those difficult conversations that not everybody likes to have. Some of them are sweet, some of them are savory, but it is real talk by real women, real issues about real life. So we thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to pull in my co-hostess with the mostest, Miss Yashica B.
Thank you, Dr. Angie, for bringing me on. Look, y'all know I'm extra, so let me look at my little glasses. For some reason, like they stay sideways. I'm always with something extra. Hello, everybody. Good evening, and I'm up here messing around. And thank you for joining Conversations for the Soul. Again, like Dr. Angie said, we have real conversations, real women with real conversations that we don't have often, all the time. We like for us to take this past the doorway out into the public. Let's have some good conversations, sitting at the table, all that kind of great stuff on the phone. Tonight's special guest is Miss Dalia Gonzalez. Dalia worked with Dr. Angie and I previously on an anthology. We worked last year at the end of the year. We launched a book called Women of the Power Boys, where Miss Dalia gave us such a I'm just saying, just a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of understanding. There's something different she brought to us. Now we'll talk about the Women of the Power Boys book a little bit, but more so, I want to just get into something that we are doing today. Today, yay, Dr. Angie Gray, that will be my co-host over there. I don't know which way you're looking. If you're looking to the left, you're looking to the right. Launched her book today. Wow. The brink. Oh, wait a minute, I don't want to say it wrong. From the brink, back from the brink, back from the brink. Right. Yeah. And we talked about her journey a little bit last week and the week before, I do believe, on our show. We came back for I'm just like not feeling these on my nose. I'm gonna take them off. So, but what the point and the significance of tonight is this: Dr. Angie went through something that was, oh my gosh, you got to get the book. However, Dalia had an insight. We are in three different places. I'm in Columbia, South Carolina. Dr. Angie is in New Pennsylvania. Give it to me, Dr. Angie.
Jersey.
New Jersey. I'm always trying to put you somewhere else. New Jersey. And Dalia is in California. Isn't that something?
Wow, that's awesome. We're like,
we are, yes, we are literally covering from coast to coast.
Yes.
And yet, when we're talking about, I know sometimes we're talking about the spirit and entering into it and feeling people and understanding your gifts and where you are and understanding and appreciating life. This is something that to me is almost mind blowing, but I believe it because it happened. We're going to bring Dalia on in just a minute so she can share the insight that she had into this journey that Dr. Angie just took, that Yashica was watching, and Dr. it is so magnificent. And I hope I'm not just rambling on talking too much, but we have a lot tonight. We're going to have a lot of good stuff to talk about. But one thing we want you to know is celebrate life. If you haven't celebrated yourself today, at this moment, take a couple of seconds and just tell yourself that you love you. And I'm going to tell myself, I love me. I celebrate me right now. I may have missed 10
love
minutes
you.
ago.
We celebrate you.
Yes. And I
Me.
love you, Dr. Angie, and I'm going to celebrate you too. And you guys do the same thing out there. Celebrate somebody. Tell them you love them. I gave y'all that challenge last week. You want to go ahead and bring Dalia on, Dr. Angie, something that you want to say about this book that we launched today. And just in case you guys have not gone yet, Amazon, go, go, go. Go, go, go. Order. Get your book.
I don't know. I put a picture in, dropped it in here, but I don't know how it works for sure. Let me know if you can see it.
Is it in the comments?
Uh,
Look, Pele already got it in there, Dr. Angie.
okay.
Put it in the Kelly put it in the comments.
She just handling business, right?
Yes. And that is awesome when you
Hi,
have
Pele.
yep. And that's what we're saying, people. When you celebrate yourself and celebrate others, others will celebrate you. Look how quickly Pele jumped in there. Boom. We didn't even ask. It was already there.
Exactly. I was trying to look, I was still trying to figure out how to get it in there. All right, let's do what we need to do with Miss Dalia. I'm so excited to bring her
Me
on. So
too.
let's bring her on and have a good conversation with her. Thank you, everybody, for joining us right now. I see Pele. I don't have any other names in front of me, but there are several people on. I am really happy about
Dr. John say, is it glasses day? Let me put on me some more. Yes, glasses day. We doing this because well, she got to come on up here. Let me tell you, she ain't playing. She came full force.
Yeah, I'm going to drop down Yashica so that you can introduce Dalia, okay?
Again, this is Yashica B, the Eclectic Mindset Motivator, but I am delighted and excited about introducing to you Dalia Gonzalez, whom I've already mentioned worked with us on the Women of the Power Voice, whom we met through Les Brown's Power Voice System and John Tallarico's Thinking to Results. Therefore, y'all, without further ado, we just want to go ahead and jump in because I'm telling you, this is going to be good. I just looked up briefly. In this project was my first time actually having an opportunity to talk to Dalia and to work with her. But it's something about it. You know how some people say it's something about that person. It's just something about that person. That doesn't have to be negative. That doesn't have to have something derogatory with it, but it can be something so powerful about their spirit that you want to, oh my gosh, I want to be in that place that you're in. I want to feel that spirit that you feel. That's what I felt with Dalia. When I had a conversation, outside conversation, just texting back and forth, I felt it. I felt something greater in her. I felt her greatness, and I'm like, man, I want some of that. So without further ado, please, Dr. Angie, bring Dalia on, and let's get to know Dalia a little bit. Hi.
Wow, girls. Thank you. Thank you.
That was true, Dalia, because it's like even like now, just like goosebumps because it's just something about you. And I was like, oh, thank you. He's like, mm-mm. I said, you're just, mm-mm. I just love it. Thank you again. You know, we're forever grateful for you. You know that, and we'll get into that later on the show. Huh?
I am especially grateful for you.
Girls, I want to tell you something. Everything you felt, first of all, the fact that you felt what you felt means that you are there. And you also acted. You didn't just feel. So you are far ahead of many of us, in your just we are always talking about being on the same frequency, right? And frequency is important. Not everybody is meant to work with us or to be our friends or to be in our surrounding because on the path of development, we are all in different places, and not only in this lifetime, also in other lifetimes, right? So what we are supposed to do is very simple. Is just to be in real love. And when I say real love, I really mean in the core, in the base, to be connected to the other person with no agenda and no barriers at all, just to be one. And sometimes it happens to everybody that they feel there is no distance, it's a total merge, right?
Mhm.
Yes, we are all connected. Absolutely.
Mhm.
So when there is a total merge, I am you and you are me.
Mhm.
Only in the world of five senses we are divided, we have separate bodies, we have separate thoughts, we have separate houses, we have separate and separate and separate. We celebrate separation instead of unity, instead of togetherness, instead of health, I would say, because it's very sometimes it's easier to love someone when is in your family, in your immediate family, somebody that you love, with because he's part of you. But everybody is part of you, everybody. And why am I stop here to say that? Because today is a very special day. This is a day the Dr. Angie is publishing her book, and it's a very special book. It's a book about the book that celebrates life, but book that celebrates. What do you mean by celebrate life? When you say celebrate life, what do you mean by that? Most of, I mean, all of us, there is no exception. Sometimes we just forget, we put ourselves in a parking mode, and we don't really live.
Mhm.
So let's talk about what is it really to live, to be in this world and really feel every minute that this urge, the sun in our belly, the sun in our soul, that is taking life all in. And I mean, every conversation is meaningful, and every dish that you make, food that you make, is filled with love, because it's all energy, and people are only eating love, nothing else. And when they clean their house, they clean it with the intention and the intensity, and they understand what they are doing, because they are not only cleaning the physical matter, they are cleaning their souls at this time. And everything they do with awareness, and with intention. So living life in this way gives you, this is the celebration. I don't mean to celebrate yourself by taking a great bath, which is wonderful, and I really recommend doing, but I mean everything that we do when we work, when we are in interactions, when we do simple and more sophisticated tasks in life.
Wow. Dalia, when you hit on love, man, if we could just spread more love and understand that love is not surface, love is deep. When you can look past yourself and just see the love out of something, you can get past a lot of situations, a lot of agony, a lot. You just look past it, and that was really powerful what you just spoke to us all. But before we get too far in it, because you really jumped in there, I would like for you to tell the audience exactly who you are and what do you do. We know you're great. They don't know yet. We gotta tell them.
I'm not sure you know. I'm not sure I know sometimes,
I
but
know. Me too.
but listen, I don't want to really. I am an intuitive. I'm a spirit, knowing that I'm here on a physical path. Just another lifetime that I'm here for, and I had a few of them, quite a few. I'm I'm connected to my guidance. I have access to the Akashic library, which is the library that each one of us has from all the lifetimes, and all the wisdom and the knowledge that we have gathered is there for us to connect with and to serve us anytime that we need. And for me, the Akashic libraries are always available, and much more when I'm serving others. When I come to serve someone, all the information in the world is coming to me, so I can serve someone with all of that is available to all of us. I'm I'm an abstract. I'm not anything very and as time goes by, I'm less in squares and formation. I'm more letting people to know who am I, and a variety of things. I'm like so. But on the same time, and this is important for me to say, on the same time, I'm very pragmatic. I'm a I'm a pragmatic person, which means I'm practical, I'm logical, and I use everything that I have spiritually and knowledge and wisdom, everything, to share it with the world and help people. This is who I am, and I do it in a variety of ways. First of all, I'm an artist. I'm painting, and my energy is helping people uh, to evolve too. I will not get into that right now, but if you have a painting of mine in your room, you will feel this energy.
Can you
And
please repeat that word, Dalia? I didn't catch the word.
yeah, if you have a painting of mine in your room, it will resonate with you in so many levels. It will affect your life because it's the energy. It's like I said before. It's all energy here, nothing else, right? We understand that now. So the energy that I put in the painting is going to you to serve you. Sometimes people don't understand why they feel attracted to a painting, this one and not this one. It's not because of anything that has to do with the technique. It has to do with the energy someone puts there and the fact that you need it in a certain time. Sometimes you feel you want to take this painting and replace it because you don't need this energy right now. You need to change. I'm an artist. I'm painting, and I'm a creative person in every area of my life. Everything I do is creativity.
Mhm.
And I know you want to know what I'm doing. So, and you see here, I'm empowering creative leaders, and the meaning of that is very simple. I think everyone is a leader. We must lead our lives, basically, and before we do anything else, that's what we should do. So we need to lead our lives. Mothers are leading families. We lead ourselves in business. We lead ourselves in our jobs, in society, in as a student in the classroom. We are all leaders. Leadership and creativity are innate qualities. And just think about this word, innate. This
Yeah,
innate.
that's really good, Dalia. You embody that innate marriage that you speak of,
Mhm.
and that's why Yashica was explaining earlier that she just had this connection to you. She was drawn to you. And I
Mhm.
think the people around you, like minded people around you, do that. They are connected to you and they're drawn to your energy because you have that energy that just kind of sucks people in. So that's wonderful. You said leadership and creativity.
Mhm.
And boy, those are two characteristics that we all could use a little bit of, and some of us have a lot of it. And clearly, you have a lot of it. So thank you so much for pointing that out. I'm going to shut up now. Sorry.
No. You both should make it an open conversation, which I really admire. I like that. I just want to say about creativity. Just think about the words. Words
Mm-hmm.
means a lot. So creativity, our connection to the creator, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we stay
Yes.
open. We
Mm-hmm.
stay open to this higher self, God, creator, whatever you feel connected to and easy to work with. And you start going on this scale up and down, and you understand you're much more than this five senses world.
Wow.
This five senses world is very limited, while we are infinite. So it's hard for us to be so limited by this world. And I think we came to a point in our development as a society that we understand that already, and we need to develop it to take this to another level of understanding, and being able to work with it, and do more with it here and now, because the whole point of being in this world is to develop. We didn't came to play, go to a nice restaurant, travel the world in private jets, take buy the nicest clothing, drive the nicest cars. This is all great. I love playing in this world, really. But what's more important is to create this this connection that we really can play this game that called life in a higher scale. Meaning anything that you want, that we want, we can just play. It's not a hard game. It's not a struggle. It's not a war. It's just a play. And when we are traveling on this scale, we can play easy. We can play with ease, with love, with it's such a playfulness, which is ridiculous. Ridiculous that we are struggling. Ridiculous that we only are chasing the next paycheck. This is ridiculous because we are infinite. And when you learn that, and when you become less mm, anxious, less in a matter.
Limited
Yeah.
by society, by culture,
That's
by how
self-centered.
people think. Our mindset. That's what makes the biggest difference in the world is our mindset.
There you go.
And that's where, while we are all connected, because we have been working ourselves and digging into how to change that mindset from a
Mm-hmm.
limiting mindset to a limitless mindset. And it makes all the difference in the world. And as we sit here right now, I'm watching some things on the screen that are happening, and I see the unlimited potential. Because
Mm-hmm.
this morning, when I woke up and we launched this book, we weren't sure. But what I'm looking at right now is several categories where we've already made number one. And I say we because I don't go by myself. I go with Yashica B. I go with Dalia. I go with a lot of different people. I go with my husband and my parents, so we have achieved number one in several categories. So I'm getting really excited, but I'm more excited about how you are describing to us how we get there. And we
Mm-hmm.
get there by removing those limitations, by not being focused on those things that hold us back, focusing on moving forward, focusing on going up that ladder, that journey of leadership and creativity. Because as you mentioned, and I just want to go back to this because that was a point that you said, but I want to elaborate on that. We are creative because we come from the creator. So the creator gives us creativity. And I just want to just really make sure we understand that because so many of us, myself included, sit on that creativity and not do what we're supposed to do. So this is really good conversation. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Yashica, do you want to say something?
Oh, when she said most of us sit on our creativity, she's absolutely right. And again, we're all guilty of it. I know I'm guilty of it. And just
No, no,
sometimes you have to get out there and just fly and just let it go.
no shame here. I
Oh
just
no.
want, I just want to talk about conformity. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I just, we are not going to have a full conversation on anything that we just raise. And maybe you will invite me someday to speak about other things. But conformity. Think about this thing. You send your children to school, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they are being taught that there is only one answer, one right answer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they are being taught that no matter what they think, I mean, the creativity, we're talking about creativity. So they take a knife and they kill their creativity in an instant because there is no way there is only one right answer. No way. You should be able to work with this
There are
connection
8
and
billion people on this planet. So, as you say, there is no way that there's only one answer. So, I
no
get,
way.
and I can't wait for a long time. My husband and I have been talking about what would happen if we trained babies in having this positive, this creative mindset. If we kept them away from the conformity of our general culture in terms of our academic structure that we have, that what we do is we impart knowledge. We in school systems we learn to regurgitate
Yeah.
answers as opposed to learning to think. And if we were to teach children, babies, how to think creatively and from a leadership perspective, what would that look like? That would change the face of this earth. So thank you for pointing that out. Conformity is not a good thing.
Mm-mm.
It's really not. But so many of us fight to make sure that we don't stand out, to make sure that we look like each other and that we're dressing alike and we all want to be in style. And as we're being in style, what we're doing is we're taking away that artistic piece of us, that creativity piece of
Mm-hmm.
us. So these are some really good points. Thank you, Dalia, for just really nailing it on the head. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So you're taking the creative part and you connect it to the where we started the conversation where we were talking about living life, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as you become more conform with your life, what do? You lose life. You lose you lose this connection. Every day that you live here, you lose the connection
Mm-hmm.
to your creative part.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you look, everybody here, you, Yashica, and Dr. Angie, and everybody, and all your guests. There was a time that you walked on the street and you looked at people's eyes, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you see? What do you see? I don't see light. I don't see life. And I don't see a future to this. I see dead bodies walking.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm asking you, is this what we call life? Is this what we wanted to create here in this world? Because you have to understand, yes, we are spirits. Yes, we can be there, and maybe you can elaborate on that and do everything that we want to. We are much more free when we are with nobody than with a body. And now we chose to come here. Why do you think? To struggle, to suffer, to be miserable? Why did we came here?
Mm-hmm.
We didn't came to
And so
be
many of
less than ourselves.
and
Mm-hmm.
so many of us seem to be content with
With
that
that,
struggle.
yes,
Like,
yes.
like that's what life is supposed to be. Life is
Mm-hmm.
not supposed to be a struggle. First of all, we are given a unique purpose. And then we're given everything that we need to make that purpose manifest.
Yes.
So, why is it that we think it's okay to struggle? It's not okay to struggle. We came to this earth with a very specific purpose, and we have to know what that purpose is. Sometimes people go their entire life and they have no idea what their purpose is. And you can't ask the Ford dealer how to fix the Toyota. You have to ask the creator, what is my purpose? What did you create me for? You created me for a very specific reason. Enlighten me. Tell me what that reason is. I got this toolbox here. I have the gifts, I have the talents, I have the skills. Now, what am I supposed to do with that? There's a commercial on TV that I recently saw, and the man is standing at looking at a faucet, and he has a hammer in his hand. And then another man comes along, takes the hammer out of his hand, and gives him a wrench. So we have all these tools in front of us, our gifts and our talents, our skills, but we're using them inappropriately. We're not using them for what we are supposed to be using them for. We're missing the boat. So, what you're saying is just so beautiful and it's so real. As we are starting to really look at this energy piece and
Mm-hmm.
look at purpose, our divine purpose, and look at what we came here to do. We came here, each and every one of us were sent here to make the earth better, to make it a more loving, kind. We're given a commandment. That commandment is not a please, it's not a suggestion, it's not, it is a commandment. And the commandment says, love thy neighbor as you love yourself. So if we are loving our neighbor as we love ourselves, and it doesn't look like love, I
But
think we need
what if we don't love ourselves?
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. That's where part of the problem lies. Is loving yourself. Loving
exactly.
yourself. Some
And
people
and
think
and
that's. Mhm. Go ahead, Dalia.
no, no.
It's
I
like
just
we
I
live through
just
this
want to
life.
yeah, I just want to say you have to love yourself first, and you have to understand what love is.
Mhm.
And just for what you previously said, I just want to give people an understanding. I know the people that are coming to your show, they are awake already, right? But they talk with people, so it's important to spread the word. Also, we don't know in on Facebook, we don't know who is going to listen and to take one word that we said here and apply it. I just want to say, when you said you have to ask God, what is it for? What did I get this tool set for? What is my purpose? Why am I here? You have to ask it. You have to ask the angels help to explain to you why. You have to stay open to the answers. They will come to you.
Mhm.
Anything, by the way, anything you will ask them, you will be supported. Anything that you will ask for, but they cannot help you if you don't ask for help. They cannot help you.
Wow, Dahlia, I'm telling you, my arms are covered with
Mhm.
goosebumps right now. And the reason that that is so is I want you to share with our audience what you saw when you learned that I was in the hospital? And I don't know, like, at what point you knew I was at the hospital. I don't know if you got the feeling first and then you found out, or if you found out and then you got the feeling. How about if you share that with us? Because I'll tell you, I was in tears when Yashica said to me, Dalia said that we had to, and I'm just going to leave it right there. I'm going to ask you to jump in and fill in the blanks for us and let us know what happened.
Yashika says Dr. Angie is in the hospital, and she's asking us to pray for you. And then she says it's getting worse. She's in ICU, or I don't know what. It's getting worse, something like that. That's what I remember. And I light a candle and I prayed. And when I prayed for you, I got this. I just got into it, and I felt like it's not enough. I cannot do it by myself. We need to get together, because a prayer for people that are praying together is much stronger, and I feel that we can make the whatever you need. Well, I mean, we can give you the power to go through whatever you need. And I told Yashika, we need to get together now. Now we just ask the people to come up together, and let's pray together. Let's connect to her together, and just ask you to come back. And say, they said that you're needed here. That's it. That's the feeling I had. That's what I felt like we need to do, and that's what I told Yashika. Maybe you want to say something, Yashika, because I don't really remember.
Yeah, that was it. It's like when you told me that we needed to pray, but it was the I read the urgency and the fact that it was more profound and said, "Oh, we just need to pray." No, it was more, we need to pray. We need to pray now, because she had to make a decision, and you said we need to let her know that she's needed here. You
Yeah.
said those words to
Yeah.
me, and
Yes.
when you said she needs to know that that she is needed here, I knew what that meant, and so it was like, okay. And then I was so intrigued and so into Dalia. Was like, wait a minute, how does she how does she know this? You remember that I texted you back, said, are you connected to the source? And that's what I told, because I was so, I didn't feel anything like something like, it was very connected. And I felt like she had something that was a little bit stronger than what I had, and I wanted to know what it was. And so I asked her, because I felt, honestly, when you said that, I felt like you had a direct charge. You had a
It
direct.
happened to me a lot throughout life. I'm very sensitive.
Mhm.
I am. I hear what people think. I'm very sensitive.
I
It's not.
understand that because I read energy, so I know exactly what you're talking about. And the reason I don't, you guys can't see it, but my arms are covered with goosebumps right now. And I will tell you that, first of all, I had my cell phone with me in the hospital, but I was drugged up a lot. I had a lot of medication in me, a lot. I can't tell you what made me pick up my phone at the moment that I got that text and be coherent enough to
Yes.
say, hey, they're trying to reach me. That was that spirit. That was the Holy Spirit that said to me, jump on. Now I'm looking crazy. My hair's looking crazy. I got the oxygen mask on. I got all this stuff going on. You know me. I'm very private. I am not going to let anybody see me in that vulnerable state. But there was something pulling me, saying to me, you must get on this call. So that's why I was as sick as I was able to get on that call. And I do believe I was on that call uh, and got a chance to see you all before I got a chance to see my husband, because it was 5 days where I was there by myself, quote unquote by myself. I say by myself because I wasn't by myself, because I now know that you guys were there. I know you were there. You ladies were there, and I felt your presence. And the funny thing is that you are saying that I had to make a decision. And the crazy thing that I'm feeling right now is, and it's in my book, so you know I'm not making it up. They kept saying to me, "What is your decision? Make a decision. Do not resuscitate or resuscitate." And I'm just sitting here thinking, as all of this stuff was going past my mind, like your life really does flash in front of you. Like you see scenes. It's like watching a movie of seeing all these different scenes of your life in front of you. And I'm quite sure it's only seconds, but it feels like hours. It feels long. And I'll tell you, as I approached the brink, and when I say the brink, I mean the light was there. And I stood there in my mind, and I'm saying to myself, do I cross over and leave all of this craziness behind? Or am I still needed? Who needs me? And I literally went through who needs me right now? Who needs me to stay here? So to hear you say those words are really messing me up. So I do believe that we were connected in that exact moment when I was trying to decide what did I need to do. And I needed to decide because the doctors were asking me. The doctors were saying to me, "Do you want to be resuscitated?" And I had already had this conversation with my husband and my mother in the weeks before. So I felt myself having that conversation again with the doctors, but it was different. It was like I said it out my mouth. No, I want my quality of life. I don't want to make anybody suffer. And then something said, no, 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 that's the wrong answer. That is the wrong answer. And I do believe, I believe it was you guys. I believe it were you ladies pulling me into that whole world of no, we're not going to accept just going. We're going to say that this is something that's important, that she is something that's important to us. We need her. And you prayed for me, you came together, and you were able to send me that message. That energy got to me, and I couldn't pray for myself. That's the crazy thing. I was unable to pray. I was able to get one word out, and the one word that I was able to get out when I said I was praying, and I tried to pray, but I couldn't. I was only able to say Jesus. That's all I was able to say. And as time went on, as I got better, of course, I was able to pray. But in that critical moment, I couldn't pray for myself. But you guys, you ladies were praying for me. And I know it to be true. You know how some people say, "Yeah, I'll pray for you," but they really not praying for you. I know you guys were praying for me because I felt it. So,
And
uh,
Dr. Angie, and that is truly real. And that's what I was with Dalia. The days after, I would keep thanking her, and she's like no, oh, this no, this not. But the thing is, because with her being a steward enough to say something to me, and then whatever the spirit in her connected with the spirit in me, because Dr. Angie, Yashica was okay. I get to it, but it wasn't like it was nothing like that. That didn't cross my mind. It was like it was like, okay, get it together now, do it. And so, and I knew, and then the days I had no idea, Dalia, that she was going through that. I had no idea till it was like almost a week later, I think so, that she told me that this was actually going on, and then I was connecting the dots backwards. Like, wow, Dalia knew when she said she had to make a decision, that we had to pray her to help her make that decision, to show her that we've got to be on, that she needs to be on this side. And it was just, I still have the text. It's like, oh my gosh, but it was real. And that is one of the reasons again that I pushed Dr. Angie to write it, because people need to understand that this is real. Spirit is real. Living is real. Dying is real. what you do on this side is real, and you can change the trajectory of your life. But when are you going to do it? You
Yeah,
have to decide.
I have to say something. First of all, I must say, because as much as it's important to acknowledge people, it's important to acknowledge your spirit. This is my guidance. It's not me.
Mhm.
This is my guidance, and through my guidance, they just used me to help to speak to Yashica and make it happen. This is first, and I have a history of lots of uh, lifetimes as a healer, and I was, and it's all my guidance. It's nothing about me, Dalia. It's not about me. But you was there, Yashica, to say Dr. Angie is sick, and pray for her. Everybody here has a role. It's She cared about you. We should care about each other. We should care about someone. We shouldn't say, what can I do? She's in the hospital. She's in the hands of the doctors. Yes, you can do. Yes, you can make things happen. Yes, you can do something, and everybody has a role in this miracle. Not one person. It's all the people that prayed and was praying before and after. It's everybody. It's your husband, it's your children, it's your father that passed away before. They all helped you in this moment.
I believe that. I
Yes,
believe that to be absolutely true. And one thing I know, I'm constantly telling my husband, just wait till it's all done and then we'll tell people. Matter of fact, I said it on the way in the hospital. He looked at me, he said, "Are you kidding me?" He said, "I'm getting right on the phone." And I was like, "What?" I was so angry with him. So angry because I was like, I don't want people worrying about me. I don't want anybody to worry about me. I want to be okay when I see them. And his words were, they may not see you if I don't reach out. I was like, oh my gosh. So it was bad. It was really bad. So I'm so glad that you were attuned to the spirit and attuned to that energy and brave enough to call and reach out to Yashica, who was then obedient enough to follow through. I
yes.
owe my life to everybody who prayed for me. There were
So it's
so many people praying for me. I was going through my phone today to text people about the book, and I was running into text messages that were already open. So apparently I had seen them, but I didn't remember seeing them. And when I tell you, I had a phone full of text messages of encouraging words and supportive words, and people telling me that they were praying for me. I tell you, it was like overwhelming. I just became overwhelmed with emotion. I was sitting there crying, laying in the bed, lying in the bed, sending these text messages to people asking them to buy my book. But I want people to be clear, the book is not about me, not about me. And to be honest with you, when I wrote that book, I woke up in the morning, it had to be 6 o'clock in the morning, and I wrote and I wrote and I wrote and I wrote, and I had no idea what I wrote. No idea, because
yes,
spirit took over and
yeah,
wrote that for me. My memory is very shady about a lot of the stuff that happened while I was there. But as I was writing, it was coming out. It was just like, oh wow, oh I do remember that. And it was just an amazing thing. And I wanted to wait on the book. Yashica twist my arm 3 places behind my back and said, "No, we're not waiting for you. We're not waiting for you to do this. You are going to do this and you're going to do it now." She
yeah,
said, "You said that God told you to write this book." I said, "He did. He didn't tell me when to write it." And she said, "No, you're going to do this." And lo and behold, I was able to write it. And it's not about the book, it's the testimony. And see, we cannot testify or have a testimony without having a test. Well, the greatest test in the world is the answer to that question. Do I resuscitate or not? And when you think about that question and having to answer that question, I'm just amazed by how that feels. I mean, it just felt as many times as I've had that conversation. I just had the conversation maybe a week before. So the conversation was okay, but to be faced in that moment, and more importantly than that, to just have the rest of the world sealed off. You don't see anything but the light. There's nothing else to see in that moment as you stand there. Your peripheral vision is like having blinders on with a horse there. The blinders that they put on the horses.
I know.
All you can see is that tone, that light. You
But
can't
then
feel
you have to rise, a few questions, a few big questions, okay? I'm not sure how old are you, and it doesn't matter, but you're not old enough to walk away from this world, right? So people don't understand that the time that we have here, it's not only precious because we live, because we have more to do. Why would you want to come back and be a baby again and a child again and a da? It's this journey in this world. It's not that easy. It's not that everything is the, the journey that we are, and you're in your prime now. In the world needs all your experience to pay it forward, and you're gone. And you said in the beginning of this conversation that you are on purpose here. So you have a purpose, and Yashika is right. You should write this book. You should inspire whoever you are meant to inspire, and to get this zest of life in them, understanding what is life really mean, and also understanding that I mean, you can quit anytime. People quitting life by just watching TV all day. They quit life in all kinds of ways, not always by dying. But I just want to say another thing. All this happened to you when you were weak, when you lost your father. I want to say to people that it's very important to be careful. These times when we lose loved ones, you have to prepare yourself not to get shaken so much by life when that things happen. I'm an only child. I lost both my parents in in tough situations. Really, the last one was really unbearable.
I'm
And
so
I can
sorry
tell you,
because it's
yeah,
so tough to be here in this world without our parents. And it happens to many of us. It's nothing new, but you're right. My mindset was different.
yes,
I was
and yes,
absolutely.
you was
And I
weak.
was angry. More important than that, I was angry. And anger does not serve us well in any situation. So
Yes,
so
poor
yes,
little me. Why it happened? Why it happened now? Why to my father? Why to me? Whatever, it's never the right time when somebody passes away. It's never the right time. Believe me, I think about not only my parents, my grandfather, my grandmother. I think of them, and I want just another to share another cup of tea with them. I really another conversation and another, and do we live our lives like really cherishing each other? This time that we have together, this conversation that we have together, do we really live life like it can be vanished in a second?
Mm-hmm. Mm. Right.
that is so true. Yashica, you kind of fading back there. What's going through that
No,
mind?
I was just thinking of how powerful the conversation really is, and just really getting into the moment of it and understanding, because you're right, death is never easy. And as you were saying about your parents, and you said about your dad, I thought about, I lost my husband. And I lost my husband and two grandparents within a month of apart in the same year. 2012 was a devastating year for me. So I do understand if you're and understand, I do, when you fall weak, life will test you. It will test you. And I don't know sometimes where we get that mental force, where do we get it from? But I say thank you. I say thank you at the end of the day, because I know He gave me, and I'm talking about God, the Creator, the Almighty, the beginning and the end, the Alpha and the Omega. I don't know what you call it, but that's what I do, because He gave me strength. The strength that you need to get through these pivotal, terrifying moments that you don't know. Because at the end of the day, nobody can really walk you through that. Again, you have to walk this path by yourself. You may have a friend that has lost, but nobody's going through that but you. You have to walk it with yourself, and to know that you have prayerful friends on you when you say the quality people, because you can't trust that delicacy with anybody. And you're right. In the beginning, we said people do say, "I'm praying for you." And we know I'm guilty of it myself. Yeah, I'll pray for you and forget. But this wasn't one of those times. And then I also gave my own self to make sure that this would not be one of those times. If I actually speak that, then I'll actually do that. Because if someone asks, then they obviously need it.
Yeah. So
And it's just one of those things. This was a true powerful conversation, a well needed conversation. We wouldn't have to do part two. It's like the spirit of it. I mean, it's just the awareness, the awakening. We talked about that a little bit. We do understand, to our audience and to those who are going to be watching us in the replay, that everybody is not where we are as far as the mental ability, the awareness, and we get that. We understand that. We do understand that. But it's something about when it's a different type of peace. It's a different type of peace that comes over you, that you is the ones who understand can understand, and you can explain it. But if you don't know what that's like, channel with someone who knows what it's like, so they can help you figure out what that's like. So you can experience it. It's different. It's a difference. I always say, do something different. It's different. That's all I
Yeah,
can
this
say on
one
that.
was really different in a lot of ways. And it's still different because as my memory is coming back to me, every time I think about something, I see another lesson,
Mm-hmm.
another blessing. And it's just like, wow. It's an experience that you cannot explain. While I wrote it and I put it in a book, my words do no justice for it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way to get someone to see clearly what this experience has been like and what it continues to be like. Because the most important thing that I want people to know who are following this journey with us is that we waste time. We waste so much
we waste life.
time. Yes, we
We
waste
waste
our
life.
lives
Mm-hmm.
and we waste
And
energy. We need to be taking that energy and channeling it to get us to the point where you were talking about earlier, where we can be who we were called to be, where
can,
we can
can you
walk.
can you elaborate a little bit about the difference that the different way that you live your life these days? What's different?
Well, you said Yashika or me?
You
You.
Oh, so you're
you came
situation
back.
pilot. I
You
thought
made the
that's what I missed
decision to
something.
come back and
Yeah,
live
the
your
way I
life.
live my life differently
How
now.
is it different?
I think the biggest thing that's different is I start asking myself, does that really matter? Like I ask myself that it's got to be 25 times a day. I say, does that matter? As things happen, I'm now weighing it. Do I need to put my time and energy in that? Or should I be putting my time and energy in something else? Something that truly matters. So I think my perspective has changed.
Mm-hmm.
I also think that I value life more because it can happen in an instant.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like you're walking around one day, everything is fine. I was walking around doing Christmas shopping and trying to get Christmas together. And suddenly I was canceled from Christmas. I didn't have anything to do with Christmas. All I could do was watch my kids on FaceTime. I couldn't even partake in the celebration. But I was grateful that I was here to do that because when I lost my father, I lost him the days before Thanksgiving, one of his favorite holidays. Thanksgiving was tough. It was really tough to have to go through Thanksgiving and not have him when that was one of his favorite things. Boy, we would fuss and argue in Thanksgiving, get our little arguments in and all that stuff. And now I sit back and I say, wow, I was mad at him for this, and I was mad at him because he cooked this too long, and like just like doesn't matter. We're spending time together. We're getting to create memories, and that's the thing. There's two things that I think we as a people miss too much. One is celebration. We should celebrate almost everything. I now celebrate the fact that I can walk. They had to teach me how to walk up and down the stairs. They had to teach me how to walk around the room. Like when I say teach, I don't mean teach me, but they had to get my brain reactivated to communicate with my feet and my legs. Like everything had to be working together. And it's just like life in general. We are out of alignment. So many of us are out of alignment. So my brain was not in alignment with my feet moving. And we had to train it, retrain it to do that again. And it was a shock to me. Had no idea that this was going to be an issue until the doctor said to me, okay, so tomorrow we'll be learning how to walk again. Wait, what? I'm looking at him like, are you crazy? I know how to walk. You got, wait, is that my chart you got, or you got somebody else's chart you standing there holding? So I think the whole celebration moment is important. But something that I've always talked about, I know I drive my family crazy, memories. We must create memories because at one point in time or another, at some juncture, that's going to be all that we have to hold on to.
I always say to people, and they don't really get it. We are going out of this world only with memories and experiences. We don't take anything. Not these glasses that we spoke about, not not this fancy wardrobe, not the car, not the house, not the people, only the memories and the experiences we had.
Absolutely.
If
So
this is not if this is not clear enough, it's a clear statement, right?
Right.
That memories and experiences are more than anything. They are the most important, and if you live a meaningful life, a meaningful path, you will take a significant treasure from
Mhm.
here. But if you waste it on nonsense, you take nonsense. You probably won't
what
take it.
stunts that the most? Tell you what I find that stunts all of that, that gets in the way of all of that? Unforgiveness.
Mhm.
When we
Yeah.
hold on to unforgiveness, we lose ourselves. We lose our ability to create those memories. We lose our ability to celebrate those moments. And life is all about moments. I saw Pele made the statement about moments. And one of the things when my husband and I got married, our theme was moments. This is a moment. Celebrate this moment with us because it's crucial. We must learn to celebrate moments because they're fleeting. They come and they go. I'm still, the funny thing is, I'm still looking for Christmas. Now, Christmas already happened, but I'm like, oh, we'll do it. Oh man, like I gotta wait till next year now. So I love celebrating Christmas, and it's a gaping hole in my heart, and it's in my mind that I didn't celebrate Christmas this year. So I keep saying, wait, oh, that's right. Christmas already happened. I can't even wrap my arms around the fact that I didn't have the opportunity to celebrate. It's the funniest thing. I have to laugh at myself. And that's another thing. Another big thing. We must learn to laugh at ourselves and to laugh in general. That's God's medicine. We have to know how to laugh because laughter is going to fix a multitude of sins. So I just say, long story short, I've been changed in so many ways. And a lot of the stuff was already there. Like I've been saying moments and laughter and celebration. I've been saying that for a long, long time. But it is now enhanced. And one of the things that my husband says all the time is, "Whoo, it got real." And that's how I feel. It just got real. And as one of my little kids said when I was a school teacher, the child said to me, "It just got realer. It's realer now." And it's so true. I mean, it's always been there. It's always been embedded in my heart, but it's realer now. Of course, I'm making up that word, but
It's good.
I didn't make up the word. The little boy made up the word. But anyway, you look in and this same little boy, funny story. Same little boy, he got this answer to something, and I asked him how he got the answer, and he said to me, "I looked in my mind, and there it was."
He's right, by the way. He is
So
right.
when
He
we
looks
just
at
look at our
you see that the teacher can destroy that, but this guy, he knew. He looked at his mind.
yes, yes. So
Yes.
when we are able to look in our mind and we're able to look in our heart and we're able to find hope, it changes everything. So that's why we have to share this story. And that's what the key word for me, the key thing for me that made me say, other than the fact that God told me to do it and I decided to be obedient, that was another decision that I had to make. Am I obedient? Because this is out of alignment for me. This doesn't fit with who I am. I hold my stuff close to the chest, close to the vest. But I had to share my story because it wasn't about me. It's never about us. It's always about other people. And the key word there is hope. Hope is the word that we must hold on to because that hope is the seed for the oak tree of faith. We've got to have the seed of hope before we can have the big faith. So it's just critical, it's crucial. And we've been doing a whole lot of talking. We are well over our time at this point.
I just want to say I listened to Cryon, and Cryon is a spirit, and he has a lot of messages to us, especially these special days, which I wanted to talk about, but maybe next time. These are special days that we live in, and your experience is part of these special days. Probably they want us to understand that we are part of a big game, much bigger than we can realize right now.
Can you repeat that, please, Dalia?
I said these are special days,
Yes,
and the message is that there is a bigger game here, much bigger game that's going on, that we are part of. And as long as we open ourselves and understand that we are part of this game, we can enlarge our game, our part of the game, and really, you know, when you're saying celebration, I don't think you even understand what celebration is. But waking up in the morning and celebrate your first breath.
yes. Gratitude. Gratitude is
It's your
everything.
first breath. If you can do that, and I'm saying with all your heart and with all your being, just be so thankful for this breath, meaning that you are here for a new day. You've been given this present. You have a chance today to do something great and go for it all the way. Don't just waste it. Just live it. And
Absolutely.
this is
And,
it. This
and
is it.
breath is a key word there because that's what I couldn't catch. I couldn't catch my breath.
Mhm.
So breath means a whole lot to me right now. So trust me, I understand.
Yes.
So
So
I
you say thank you for every breath that you take
Mhm.
and for the first breath in the morning, because the most devastating thing is when you stop taking this breath. You don't have a chance no more.
and when you start breathing toxic air, that's a whole different conversation. That would take us down a whole nother road.
Yeah.
I
yes.
do want to ask that you ladies celebrate at this moment because we have a lot to celebrate for. I have been looking in the chat box and I see that my husband has been posting updates for us with regard to uh, the book and the status of the book.
Mhm.
I want to share that, but I want you to, especially, to celebrate yourselves, to give yourself a hand clap, to give yourselves a hug because you heard the Spirit. You listened to the Spirit. You
Mhm.
responded to the Spirit. And you made me hear the Spirit and do the same. So,
Let's multiply that.
oh my
Let's multiply that.
That's multiply.
Let's multiply that.
Yes.
Let's multiply that. Let us all be united together and do it in larger scales to others. Let's include everybody. Let's
yes,
celebrate
everybody,
everybody.
yes,
Let's have circles of thousands and thousands and millions of people together saying thank you for that, for every breath, for every person, for every idea, for every uh, creative thought, or for every movement. Let's do it together.
Yes.
absolutely.
I,
Because
Are you with me? Are you with me?
I'm with you. I'm gonna multiply the
yes, I'm
spirit. Yes.
definitely with you. And I'm with you because what you said in the very beginning, we're all connected.
Yes.
So we can't do any of this without each other. I don't want anyone to think that oh, I did this, I did this. No, no, it was never, ever about me having the fortitude, the strength, the wherewithal
Mhm.
to get through this situation. And not just to get through, but to grow through. We go through things all the time, but do we actually grow through them? And I have to say, of all the experiences that I've had, and this is not my first near death experience, I've had a couple of really bad car accidents.
Gee,
And so I have been down this road before. But as Yashica said, this was different. This was really different. And I have to say that without my community, my tribe, my family,
Mhm.
this would be a whole conversation. You all would be celebrating my transition. You all would be giving me a homegoing celebration as opposed to a life celebration. So I thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart. Now we were
Dr.
not
Angie,
to get on.
Dr. Angie, ask your tribe, ask your people to do it to each other. We have neighbors that we don't really look at them. We have people that they are not seen and they are not heard. And when I say that, I mean it's not because we are not good people, it's only because we think that we cannot help, that we cannot be there for them, that we don't have the means to support. Just just a, a nice smile, just a look at the eyes, tell them that you seen them, tell them that you really care. I mean, there are ways to do it, and you don't have to be nobody is special to do that. Just do it from your heart. It would make a big difference, a huge difference in the world.
That, and also the tongue. We have to recognize that our words matter. Our thoughts matter, our words matter, our actions matter. And when they are all in congruency and they're all aligned in the way that they're supposed to be, we change our situation, our circumstances. And there's just so much value in the words that you share with us, Dalia.
Yes.
You have opened my eyes yet again. I feel like I keep getting my eyes peeled open again and again and again through this experience, through this journey. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank you.
grateful for you, and I'm grateful that we were in the same space at the same time, even though we were thousands of miles away from each other.
That's right.
Thank you for sharing that space with me. Thank you for coming to get me. You came to get me.
No, it's really
I'm fighting back tears.
Yashica, I want to tell you something. Sometimes you're going to a anthology and you think you did a grand anthology. We wrote a book, we told the stories, this is a big deal, and you don't really understand that we did it. All this anthology was for Dr. Angie. If you think about it,
Yes. Yeah.
the greatest thing wasn't about the anthology. The greatest thing that came out of this anthology is Dr. Angie is here. She's with us. She's talking to us today. She's alive. She looks wonderful, amazing. She looks enlightened. That's all matters. I mean, nothing is more important than that.
You're absolutely right. Oh man, you're right. Change that perspective. Change the way you look at things. The things you look at will change. Wayne Dyer. And that is absolutely true. Because yeah, that's absolutely true. And when you look, you can't even say anything else behind it. That is true. That is so true. Because when you have to look, it's not about you. It's where
I
you're
got to
going.
start bringing my tissues to the table
And
when we come to this show. And you know, the Today Show, they have tissues drop down out of the ceiling.
do they really? Oh, we got to get that. Okay.
I'm starting to feel like that's a necessary thing for us. That's part of our equipment.
Yeah. Oh wow! Thank you
Thank
for
you
that
so
reminder,
much.
though, Dalia.
We want to be respectful of the time of
Yeah, I'm
our
sorry. I just
audience.
had to
I
say
want to
that.
thank
Thank you
Andrea
so much, girls.
Thank you.
um, just trying to make sure we got everyone. Amina Muhammad, Keith Davis. Thank all of you for just being a part of this conversation. I'm not sure why some things show up in one place but not the other. I'm trying to be a little more conscious of that. Thank you, Dr. Gray. Um, yeah, so we have a lot of value that came from this conversation, a lot of gems, a lot of nuggets, a lot of, if people really open their hearts and minds to hear what was being said, but more importantly than that, to hear what was not being said. And I think when we do those things, we all become better. And one of the things that I know has shifted in me, there's so many things that have left a bitter taste in my mouth, a bitter thought in my mind. And this experience has taught me to move from bitter to better. There's so much power in healing and recovery and the ability to look back to see from whence you came. Because when we are able to look back and see, not stay back, but glance back and see the miles that we have passed and the milestones that we have passed,
Mhm.
it makes a difference in our hearts and our minds. See, we all have these experiences. There's nobody on this earth that lives long enough, that lives outside of toddlerhood, that doesn't have these experiences. Even toddlers have the experience, but their subconscious is picking it up, not their conscious. But when we get old enough to have a conscious mind, our perspective, our mindset is all based on our experiences. And what we must do is, as Yashica said last week, tweak and twerk that mindset. We got to tweak our mindset so that we can use those experiences to make us better. Because in making ourselves individually better, we make ourselves better as a collective body,
Mhm.
the whole body. And see, all these moving parts work together, but they can't work together if one of them's dead. And when I say dead, I don't necessarily mean physically dead. I mean emotionally dead, mentally dead, but more important than all of that, spiritually dead. We have to awaken our spiritual side. We're busy, and I'm guilty. We're busy tiptoeing around people, not wanting to say God, not wanting to say Jesus because it might offend them. We creator might offend them. Let's come up with a different word. You know what? We have to stop. We really have to stop and start. We have to stop limiting ourselves and feeling like that conformity that you spoke to is driving us. Conformity is not a good thing. We don't, none of us want to be all out there looking like we're completely different, but we are. That's why we were given those
We
unique.
are unique, unique,
Yes,
unique.
yes, yes. We were
We
given.
have we have different fingerprints. We have different voices. We have different talents. We have different everything.
DNA.
DNA, DNA, and innate.
Yes, keyword. I'm going to give you exactly a minute, Dalia. I'm going to pull Yashica and I down to give you just a moment to close out. And then when you close out, I'm going to bring Yashica back. In the meantime, we're going to ask that you hang back behind stage. But right now, I'm going to give you that minute.
Dr. Angie, I think you went to me first. Okay.
Thank you to Dr. Angie and Yashika for this opportunity to be with them, to share with them, and to celebrate with them, like Dr. Angie asked us to celebrate life together. I, I wish to be invited again here to this stage to share more with you guys. And I say lechaim. Lechaim in Hebrew is to life. So to life, girls. To life, everybody. Celebrate life. Thank you.
Again, thank you, Dalia, for coming on. And of course, you can come back. Of course, we would definitely have you back. You're muted, Dr. Angie.
I do that all the time. But
That's
anyway, my husband tries to do that to me too. I walk by and he's like pressing the remote in my direction, trying to shut me up. But
trying
anyway,
to, trying to mute you.
trying to mute me, yes. But Dalia, thank you so much. You remain a beautiful spirit. Thank you for sharing and giving of yourself. We appreciate you. All right. We're going to go ahead and pull Miss Yashika B up so that she can close us on out. Yashika, please ask for forgiveness. We're almost a half hour over time. If you
Okay. Well, Dr. Angie said it to our audience that's paying attention and watching us, and thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hanging in. Thank you for sharing, liking, following us, Conversation for the Soul. Each week we come on, you're going to receive something for your soul, to better your soul. Remember that bitter, not better. Thank you for staying on. We do apologize for going a little bit late. But this week, in the challenge I will give you, we heard a lot. There were so many nuggets dropped on living a life, a full life. So this week, I just asked you to go back and do the replay. This time, do the replay with a notebook and write down some of these tools that was given in just regular conversation. Tools were given. Take them out, utilize them, and make tomorrow better than today. Each day that you wake up on this side of the dirt, make it better than the previous day. And I'm going to keep it short because we've already taken so much of your time. Share, like, follow, take notes, and everyone have a great, blessed week and be greater.
Wow, that was powerful, Yashica. And I usually don't come back on after this. I don't think. I don't know. I can't really remember. But pre-vacation, post-vacation,
Yeah.
a little different. But I did want to just take a moment to just thank everybody who purchased the book today. But more importantly than purchasing the book, make sure you hand it off to somebody else. So the paperback will be coming out right now. It's only in digital format, but the paperback will be coming out. When the paperback is out, please be sure to get a copy of it and pass it on. Do Bible study with it. Do what you have to do with it because it's not about the book. It's not about sales. It's not about Dr. Angie Gray. It's not about any of that. It's about how can we lift one another up? How can we give hope? How can we give forgiveness? How can we give love? How can we just make people and our situation and circumstances better? I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you for participating in this particular show because this show obviously was near and dear to my heart because God gave me a chance to say thank you to Dalia. Dalia really has touched my heart in a very special way.
Yes.
Of course, Yashica has always touched my heart in a special way because she is special, and we'll talk about that another time.
Okay. I take that.
But I love you. And
Look, let me get my glasses on to close out. Okay.
yes, all right now. She got her glasses on. She can see clearly now. All right, everyone.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us. And once again, we apologize for the tardiness of us holding on to you for so long. Yashica says, such a moving, powerful, and special evening. And it was indeed all of the above. Remember, celebrate life, enjoy moments, be kind, love yourself, love others. There's so much there. I think that was an awesome, awesome idea to sit down with a notebook and take those notes. Thanks for pointing that out, Yashica. We love you guys. Bye bye.
Bye.